seated position, Sukhasana if you like to sit in Sukhasana, but any other seat that suits your body and allows you to sit up nice and tall. And if you can, if you're in a comfortable enough position to sit and you can keep your palms facing upwards with just a soft open palm position, go for that. We're just going to do a little work with the fingers. So if you can find that palms facing up, open palm, but soft situation, let your hands rest wherever's the most comfortable. Then maybe just close your eyes down for a moment. Take a second to settle in. And as you start to settle in and get a little quieter on your mat, just take a moment to assess if there are any little wiggles or adjustments that you could make so that you're seated a little bit more comfortable. And then once you've made those little adjustments, come back to your awareness of your hands, your open palms, and your soft fingers. So if you can just kind of just tune in and notice your hands. Maybe notice the weight of your hands or the weight of the forearms and your hands resting against wherever they're resting. And then maybe notice, do you have a tendency to still find a little movement here, or are you able to keep your fingers still? And there's no right or wrong, but just notice what your natural tendency is. And then can you just draw awareness to your right pinky finger without moving anything or changing anything? Can you just notice your right pinky finger? And then can you notice your left pinky finger? And then can you notice your right ring finger? And then can you notice your left ring finger? And then again, without moving or changing anything, can you notice your right middle finger? Notice your left middle finger. Notice your right index finger. Notice your left index finger. Notice your right thumb. Notice your left thumb. Notice your right palm, open and soft. Notice your left palm. And then with awareness on both hands, maybe just notice, does your skin feel cool or warm? Dry or moist? And there's no right or wrong, we're just noticing. And then we're going to start to gently move the fingers. So just an organic movement, maybe wiggling the fingers, maybe rolling the fingers into light fists and then releasing. Any little tiny bit of movement, whatever feels appropriate to just invite some movement into your fingers. So the palms are still facing up. We're just gently moving the fingers. And then if you've got that movement down, maybe if you open your eyes to do so, maybe close your eyes down again, just so that you can tune in and notice the sensation, notice the movement of your fingers, notice the movement of your skin. Maybe even notice if the backs of your hands are resting against your knees or inner thighs. Notice that little bit of connection there. Take one or two more little gentle movements of the fingers, and then let that all come to stillness. Let your arms get heavy again. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then before we move away from this place, set an intention here to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, flip your palms. So palms facing down, catch hold of your knees, move right into a seated cat-cow here. As you inhale, gently lift your chin, arch your back, squeeze your shoulder blades, exhale and round your back. And you're gonna start to move with your breath's rhythm, inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you round. But as you do this movement here, once you get it down to it just automatic, so you can move gently with the rhythm of your breath, can you tune in and notice your hands connected to your knees or wherever your handhold is? That slight and subtle movement as you round your back or lift your chest. Maybe notice the slight bit of efforting in your hands to help hold on to your knees as you move from space to space. Maybe notice that just sense of warmth between the palms and the space of your knees. Take one more cycle of breath. And then find a neutral spine, release your hands. Left hand's gonna touch the ground, right hand's gonna reach up. Take a nice gentle side bend, and then we're gonna move from side to side. So take your side bends at a pace and a rhythm that feels right to you, trying to keep your sits bones anchored. But now as you start to move and get this to be a little bit more of an automatic movement pattern, can you notice your hands? Notice your hand as it touches the ground. Maybe you notice the texture of your mat. Maybe notice the hand that's up in the air, the coolness of the air above you. Nice. And then the next time your left hand touches down and the right hand reaches up, can you stay there for a moment and then reach through those right fingertips, lifting and lengthening through the fingertips, down through the side body, but the sits bones stay anchored. Maybe draw your thumb back, look up to the sky, take a nice big breath, but notice and feel your hand here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release and we'll take it to the other side. So that hand's going to touch down to the ground. So you might notice the texture of your mat. Find that nice generous side bend, anchoring into your sits bones, reaching through the fingertips. So find that little bit of length and energy reaching upward. Maybe pull your thumb back, gazing up. And then as you take a breath here, notice your hands. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift everything back up, roll your shoulders down and back just to kind of soothe out anything you may have come across there. And then we're going to take our hands out to the side with the palms facing down. And then we're just going to find a little rotation. So palms are going to flip up towards the ceiling and then palms are going to flip down. And you don't have to match this with any sort of breathing pattern. So just breathe at a natural rhythm, but we're just going to create a little heat in the muscles, a little heat in the arms, and think about our hands as we find and create this heat. And we want to bring a little energy down into the fingers. So not soft in the hands, but energetically reaching through the fingers, even as we flip our palms up and flip the palms down. And then think of this as sort of creating a space or creating circulation in the arms so that the blood can flow. And then do you notice a little bit of warmth, a little bit of heat in your arms? Are you starting to sense a little bit of heat or awareness down into your fingers? Take one more flip of the palms here. And then let your hands just float down, rest, close your eyes down for a second, and then just notice. Notice your arms, notice your hands. Take one more breath. Nice, and then when you're ready, we're gonna take it right into a seated twist. So right hand's gonna find the left knee, left hand's gonna go behind you. And then here we're going to think about creating a little constriction. So as we twist our body, we create a light bit of constriction here. So notice that sense of constriction. Take a big inhale. Notice where the breath feels like it's constricted a little bit. One more breath, just tuning in, seeing if you can notice that sense of constriction in its twisted shape. And then as you release and come back to center, take a nice big breath. Feel that nice fresh wave of blood that comes in. Awesome. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So take your twist over to the other side and then think about that idea of constriction. So we twist the body. We're creating little spaces of constriction for the blood to stay kind of closed in. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release. And as you come back to center, take that nice big breath. Let that fresh wave of blood come back in. Great. And then when you're ready, inhale, open your arms nice and wide. Left hand's going to come on top of the right. We're going to give ourselves a little hug. Catch your shoulders, draw the shoulders down, pull the abdominal muscles in, pull the elbows down as you round through the back of the body. Take a nice big breath and notice the space between your shoulder blades. And then on your next inhale, lift up, open your arms wide. Other hand is going to come on top for our hug. So right hand is going to come on top. Catch your shoulders, pull the shoulders down, abdominal muscles in, elbows down as you round through the back of the body. Tuck your chin to your chest and then notice the space between your shoulder blades. Take a nice big breath and think of this as creating space. So we're creating space and channels for our blood to flow so that our blood can nourish our entire body. So take a nice big breath here. Awesome. And then on your next inhale, we're going to open the arms wide, swim the hands behind the back with nice tall fingers. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Take a gentle back bend here. Nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. And then when you're ready, we're going to release into an easy seated forward fold. So swim those hands forward, hinge from your waist, reach long through the arms, go just to a depth that feels good. So check your knees, check your hips, check your low back. Make sure everything feels like it's in a good position. A little energy and a little reach through the hands. So rather than softening through the arms, softening through the shoulders and the back of the body, reach through the fingers. Imagine that you're reaching out all the way to the fingertips and reaching out through the crown of your head, creating some space for the blood to flow down to the fingers. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then press into the fingertips, pull the abdominal muscles in. Drag your fingers as you come back up, nice and slow, but nice and strong. Roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears, roll them around, down and back, and then we're going to find our way into a tabletop position. So come around into all fours in any way that suits your body best. Check your knees, and just if you need to double stack your mat or do any little cushioning or care for your knees, take a second to do that. And then once you're in your tabletop position, we're going to start by bopping the hips side to side. So you're just going to rock your hips towards the left and towards the right, like you're trying to drop your hips towards the ground. And as you do this movement here, just kind of notice, how do your knees feel? How do your ankles feel? Awesome. One more little rock of the hips side to side. And then bring it back to center. We're going to move right into a C-spine. So you're going to hug shoulder to hip. So now we're moving into the torso, hugging in at the side body. And if you like connecting the breath here, you'll inhale as you come to center, exhale as you squeeze in at the side. Take one more time each side. And then as you come back to center, knees are going to stay in line with the hips, move right into puppy pose. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat, arms wide or arms at shoulder distance. That's totally up to you, but let your chest and your forehead drop down and then come back to that idea of energetically reaching. So reaching through the arms, reaching through the fingers, creating length and space through the arms, creating that nice space and channels for the blood to flow to nourish the body. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. When you feel ready, slowly start to bring yourself back up to tabletop position, and we're going to move right into thread the needle. We're going to take 3 times with a reach, and then the third one will thread all the way through. So take your right hand, reach it up nice and high, and then we're going to thread that hand through, just finding a little bit of reach, and then pull that hand right back up. Create some space, lift up towards the sky. Beautiful. Reach through. One more time, reach up nice and high. And this time as you thread through, bring the right ear, right shoulder to the ground, and then play around with your left hand, whatever you like. If you like it up towards the top edge of your mat, up towards the sky, or tuck it behind you. If you like to reach it up towards the sky, maybe here's a place where you can tune in and notice. Notice the hands, notice the tips of your fingers, notice the cool air on your skin. If you take it into that half binder and reach it behind you, you might notice the warmth of your hip crease. If you're reaching up towards the top edge of your mat, you might notice the texture of your mat. So just take a moment to notice what your hand feels here. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then wherever that left hand is, go ahead and bring it back down in so that it's alongside your face. Gently push into that hand to unthread. Come back to your tabletop and then pause for a moment. Gaze down at the floor. Take a nice big breath. Wonderful. And then we'll take it to the other side. Left hand's going to reach up nice and high, create some space, thread that hand through with a little bit of a reach. Take it back up to the sky. Reach up nice and high. Let your gaze follow. Thread that hand through. Find a little bit of reach. One more time. Reach up nice and high. Thread that hand through, and this time left ear, left shoulder to the ground. And then whatever you like with that right hand, you might reach it up towards the top edge of your mat, reach it up to the sky, tuck it behind you for that half bind, whatever feels good to you here. But then notice that right hand. If you're tucked into the hip crease, maybe notice that warmth there. If you're up in the air, maybe notice the coolness of the air. And if you're reaching towards the top edge of your mat, notice the texture of your mat. Take one more breath. And then wherever that right hand is, bring it back in alongside your face to gently push into your hand, lift yourself back up to that tabletop position. As you come back to table, gaze down at the floor, pause just for a moment, take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Awesome. And now we're going to take it into our crooked table. So left elbow and forearm are going to come down to the ground. Right hand's going to stay in that more straight position. We're going to pick the right leg up in a bent knee position. We're going to take that knee, draw it in a couple circles, go in one direction. And then take that knee, draw it in circles, go a couple times the other way. Nice. And then we're going to take it like we do our three-legged dog. So we're going to lift the leg up nice and high, but then let the foot fall behind you. So we're going to try and find a little sensation through the front of that right hip or where your front right pocket would be. Take a nice big breath as you let that leg get nice and heavy. Awesome. And now as we come up, we're going to release that leg out into a little spinal balance. So we're going to push into that left hand as you reach the right leg out nice and long. Beautiful. And then extend your opposite hand out. So right leg is out, left hand is going to reach. Take a nice big breath. Lovely. And then release all of that down. We're going to take it to the other side. So right elbow, forearm down, finding that crooked table position, and then lift that left leg up, bent knee, circle that leg in one direction. Take a few times around just to create a little heat in the glutes and a little bit of lubrication in that hip joint. And then take that knee, draw it in circles a few times the other way. Beautiful. And then take it into that three-legged dog situation. So we lift it up nice and high, let the foot fall behind you. So you find a little sensation, hopefully through the front of that left hip or where your front left pocket would be. Awesome. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift up into that spinal balance situation. So you're going to extend your left leg long. And then as you come up, right hand is going to reach out. So opposite hand, opposite foot, find some stability here. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then release it down with control. Big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Extended child's pose. Pull your butt back towards your heels. A little energetic reach through the arms. So rather than softening through the arms, find some length, create that space. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then we're going to walk it over to the left. So keeping your butt back towards your heels, walk your hands off and over the left side of your mat. Stack your right hand on top of the left. Let your elbows get nice and heavy. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Walk it through center and over and off to the other side. Stacking your left hand on top of the right hand. Let your elbows get nice and heavy. Soften your forehead. Take a nice big breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, walk it back through center. And then we're going to sit back up on our heels. So if this is not a comfortable position, you'll readjust your seat, but we're going to walk our hands back up. So we're sitting up on our heels. Pick your hands up, rotate your fingers so fingertips are pointing inward, taking 3 lines breath here. So we're pressing into the palms, squeezing between the shoulder blades, open through your chest. Take a big inhale. Exhale, stick out your tongue, look to your third eye, make a little noise. Nice big inhale. Exhale and let it go. One more lion's breath here. Inhale, a nice big breath. Exhale to let it go. Awesome. And then when you're ready, lift your hands up, float forward, pick your butt up, walk your knees in, find your way back into your tabletop position. 3 cat-cows here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. One more time here. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale to round your back. Nice. And then find a neutral spine. We're going to come up into a high kneel position. So bring in your hands to your hips just so you find that high kneel position. And then here, this might be a little intense on the knees. So if you do need to double stack your mat, take a second to do that. But if it feels good, we're going to reach the hands out first. Just in this high kneel position, we're going to take some zombie hands. So we're going to flick the fingers down to the point where you feel hopefully a little stretch through the front of the forearms, and then flick the fingers up nice and strong. Find that nice activation, feel that little work going on there. Flick the fingers down, nice and strong. Flick the fingers up. Beautiful. One more just like that. Flick the fingers down. Flick the fingers up, nice and strong. And then find a neutral position, but energy reaching through the fingertips. And we're going to take it into our Z sit. So we're going to lean back. You might feel a little stretch in the quads. What we want to feel is the tailbone drawing down or that connective pelvic floor drawing up so that we keep our center nice and strong. So as you lean back, feel that little stretch in your quads, keep your center, and then bring it forward again. Lean back just a little bit, but reach through the fingers, keep your center nice and strong. Beautiful. Bring it right back up. We're going to do that one more time. Lean back, nice and strong through your center. Awesome. Bring it back. And this time, as you come back up, lean forward just a little bit to the point where you feel your hamstrings, the backs of your legs kicking on to help support that position. So you're slightly forward. Take one more breath and then bring it back to neutral. Float your hands down. Find your way back to a tabletop position. Curl both sets of toes under. Pull your butt back to your heels. A little stretch to the toes, a little stretch to the bottoms of the feet. Awesome. And then we're going to pick the knees up nice and slow. Peel your knees away from the floor. Lift your butt up. Find your way to that downward facing dog position and start to pedal up the legs. Bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. Take 1 or 2 more pedals of the legs, and then when you're ready, we're going to look forward, walk the feet up to meet your hands, come to a folded ragdoll at the top of the mat. Soft position through the backs of the legs, so keep your knees generously bent. Make some space for your belly and your chest. If it feels good to do so here, let your arms hang nice and heavy. So rather than holding onto your elbows, and what we're shooting for is just that sensation again, looking to pay attention to the fingers, pay attention to the hands. With this inversion position or with your head underneath your heart and the blood flowing maybe downward toward your fingers, can you just tune in for a moment and notice, how do your hands feel? Are they cold or warm? Taking one more breath here. And then we're going to lift just slightly. So we're just going to lift so that the fingertips are no longer touching the floor, but there's still this kind of long, loose heaviness in the arms. And then we're just going to take our arms as they dangle out of this shoulder girdle and just draw them in some gentle circles, allowing the arms to be nice and heavy, letting them kind of hang heavy out of the shoulder socket, circling in one direction. Nice. And then circle your arms, go the other way. Beautiful. One more circle of the arms. And then let that come to stillness. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Take your time as you come on up. And then as you come on up, give yourself a second, get yourself situated at the top of the mat, and then see if you can find your mountain pose here. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward, feet nice and anchored on the ground, arms out at your sides. And now we're going to come back to that idea of energy down to the fingertips. So reach energetically through your fingertips, almost exaggerate it just a little bit for sensation, right? So reach your fingertips down towards the ground, and you'll feel your shoulder heads pull down a little bit. And then relax that just a bit. And then do it again. Reach through the fingertips. Let your shoulder heads pull down. And then relax that position just a little bit. One more just like that. Reach through the fingertips, pull the shoulder heads down. Nice. And then relax just a little bit. And now with life in the hands and the fingertips, but not that exaggerated position. So just a little bit of an energetic reach right down to the fingertips. Lift up through the crown of your head. Keep that energy in your fingers. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. As you exhale, tuck chin to chest, but keep that energy in your fingertips. Inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck chin to chest, keep that energy down into the fingertips. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck chin down. Bring your head to a neutral position, and now we're going to take the left hand, reach behind. Can you catch hold of your right elbow pit? Once you've got hold of the right elbow pit, drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. Take a gentle nod of the head up and down, just moving at a depth that feels right in your body. One more nod of the head up and down. And then let your head come to stillness, lift it back to center, release your hold of the elbow pit, and we'll take it to the other side. So right hand's going to reach behind. Can you catch hold of the left elbow pit? Or any other grab that works good for you? We're just creating space through the side of the neck and the shoulder. And then once you've got it, drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Take a nice big breath. And then keeping that head tilted to the side, invite a gentle nod of the head up and down if that feels safe and appropriate in your body. Nice. One more nod of the head up and down. And then let the nodding come to stillness. Lift your head up to that neutral position. Release your hold from that left elbow pit. Let your hands come back down at your sides. Energy down through the fingertips. Inhale, arms up. Bring that energy up through the fingertips as you reach up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold, hands glide to the shins. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, and now we're going to rub the palms together. Create a little bit of heat, a little friction in your palms. Get them really good and fired up. And then once you feel like you've created a good amount of friction in your hands, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, close your eyes down, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. And then we're going to take light fists and we're going to tap the back side of the body. So think right above your hips, just finding that nice soft tissue. And we're just going to give a few light taps just to increase a little circulation, a little blood flow to the kidneys. Take a few more taps. Awesome. And then let your hands come back down at your sides. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back. We're going to come to a warrior one position. So drop the back heel down, toes turn out about 45 degrees, but the hips stay facing forward. Inhale, lift your arms up. Lovely. And then just for a moment here, just check in with the hips. So if they're slightly rotated at a 45-degree angle, you might could widen your stance just a little bit so you can rotate hips forward, or just find that rotation of the hips facing forward. And then once you feel like you're there, sink just a little bit deeper into that front leg, lifting arms upward towards the sky, looking up to the sky. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. Now we're going to find a little movement here. So we're going to bring our hands down in front of the heart, curl the fingers in like you're making your little tiger paws. And then we're going to start by just pushing forward. Let your hips move with you as you push forward, pull it back in. And then as you come back to center, straighten that front leg, push your paws down. Bring them back up to the heart, push forward, let your hips and your heart lean forward with you. Pull it back in, push the palms down, straighten the front leg. Lovely. One more time, just like that. Bring it up to the heart. Push forward, let your hips tilt with you as you lean out. Pull it back to the heart, push down, straighten that front leg. Nice. And then back to that warrior one position. Bend that front knee, lift your arms up. Can you interlace the fingers here? Pointers up to the sky. Lift your heart just a little bit higher. Take one good breath. Awesome. Unlace your fingers, float your hands down. Pivot your back heel. So you're going to come into a little runner's lunge. Plant your palm. Plant both palms, step back to plank. Right away, bring the knees down, lower with control onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower down. Nice. Push your way up to a tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of the legs. And then when you're ready, look forward. Walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Come to a forward fold at the top. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior one. So we drop the back heel, toes turn out about 45 degrees, hips stay facing forward. Inhale and lift your arms up. And then readjust your shape as needed. So if you need to widen your stance, do that. If you need to pull the hip crease back, do that. Or if you need to pick that back heel up, do that. So you feel like you're really strong and stable in this position. Beautiful. When you're ready, tiger paws into the heart. And then we're going to push forward. Lean in, let your hips and your heart move with you. Pull it back to the heart. Push down, straighten the front leg. Bring it back up to the heart as you bend the front knee. Lean in, push forward, let your hips and your heart move with. Bring it back to the heart. Push down as you straighten that front leg. Beautiful. Bring it back to the heart. Lean in, push forward. Bring it back to the heart. Push down as you straighten that front leg. Nice. And then bend that front knee. Come back to your warrior one position. Interlace the fingers. Maybe sink a little bit deeper into that front leg as you lift your gaze. Take a nice big breath. Lovely. Unlace your fingers, float your hands down to the ground. Pivot on your back heel. Readjust that back foot as needed so you find your runner's lunge. And then when you're ready, plant your palms, step back to plank, lower with control onto your belly. Beautiful. Now we're going to take 3 low cobras here, but the last one we're going to hold. So inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift and hold. Lift your hands away from the floor. Feel that strength in your back. We're going to hold this just a little bit longer than we normally do, so we bring a little heat to the muscles in the back. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. And then when you're ready, you're going to soften down. Bring your hands down. Let your forehead rest. Maybe just let it rest on the floor just for a moment. And as you take a nice big breath, just notice that fresh wave of blood that comes into the back of your body. Awesome. When you're ready, push your way up into a tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of the mat, coming to your forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Grab that imaginary beach ball above your head. Exhale, sink right into a chair. Butt back, bend your knees. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball. Exhale and sink into your chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink into your chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest. And now from here, we're going to swim the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles down, draw the arms away from the back of the body, open your chest, lift your chin, take a nice big breath. Cool. And then soften your chin, bend your knees, keep those hands interlaced behind you, but now we're going to fold it over. So you're going to bend, letting your heart fall forward, let your arms just fall away from your back as they naturally do. Don't need to force it. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. And then release your interlace of your fingers. Hands are just going to float right down to the ground. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Nice. And now we're going to create a little bit of heat here. So if at any point you need to make readjustments or bring your knees down, you're going to do what feels good. But from plank, we're going to take it right up to a downward facing dog and then right back to that plank position. Take your butt up to downward facing dog and then right back to that plank position. Beautiful. We're going to do that 3 more times. You always have the option to bring your knees down if you need to. Last one here. Nice. And then as you find your way back into that plank position, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly, right into Drunken Serpent, hands off the edges of your mat. Inhale, lift your heart nice and high. Exhale to lower down. Right shoulder up and back. Inhale, lift and look over. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. Take it to the left. Inhale, lift and look over. Exhale to lower down. Awesome. Back to center. Inhale, lift your heart nice and high. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. And now we're going to keep a slightly lifted position with the heart. We're going to reach the hands behind, interlace the fingers here, draw the knuckles towards your heels, lift through your chest, find that strength in your back. Take a nice big breath in. If it feels available, you're going to reach through your toes, lifting through your heart, lifting through your toes. One more breath. And then when you're ready, release your toes, release that engagement of your fingers. Let your hands come down at your sides. Let your forehead rest for a moment. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, push your way up into a tabletop position, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, right leg is going to lift up nice and high. We're going to bend that knee, let the hip roll open. Beautiful. Now step that right foot up to the top right corner of your mat, outside of your pinky finger. So a nice wide lunge here. Bring your back knee down, releasing the back toes if that feels appropriate and comfortable. And then right hand's going to come to the inside of the right knee. You're going to push the knee open, draw your right shoulder back, look over your shoulder, take a breath. Awesome. When you're ready, rotate your heart back forward, release that right hand down, curl your back toes under. We're going to step that front leg back to a 3-legged dog. So lift that back knee, slide that right leg back, lift it up nice and high. Beautiful. Release it down. And we're going to take all of that to the other side. So left leg is going to come up into 3-legged dog. Bend that knee, let the hip roll open. And then when you're ready, step the left foot up to the top left corner of your mat or outside of your pinky finger. Drop that back knee down, toes tucked or released, whatever feels more comfortable to you. Once you've got your wide lunge, left hand to the inside of that knee, push your left knee open, draw your left shoulder back, look over your left shoulder. One more breath. And then when you're ready, rotate heart back to center, both hands on the ground. Curl the back toes under, pick that back knee up. Left leg is going to shoot up nice and high. Find your 3-legged dog. Beautiful. Release that leg down with control. Look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat, finding your forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides, and then just pause here for a moment and notice how you feel. Do you feel a little heat generated in your body? Notice your hands. Do they feel warm or cold? There's no right or wrong. We're just paying attention. Notice your feet. Can you lift from the soles of your feet? And then just start to lift that energy from the soles of your feet all the way up through the crown of your head. When you feel ready, inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, stepping the right leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel down, toes turn out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, arms up. Interlace the fingers. Drop a little deeper into that front thigh. Gaze up towards the sky. Lift your heart. Take one good breath. Awesome. And then we're going to unlace our fingers. Right hand's going to touch the back of the thigh. Left hand's going to reach up. Look to that hand. Take one big breath. And then we're going to spin the hands down to the ground as you pivot that back heel. So you find your way into your runner's lunge. Beautiful. Plant the palms. Step back to plank. Now, from this plank position, we're going to take a version of upward facing dog. We're going to keep the toes curled under. So you're going to shift forward slightly. Let your hips lower down. Hips and knees are going to stay off of the ground. We arch the back. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. Look forward or slightly upward. Take one good breath. Nice. And then lift that right up into downward facing dog. Right leg up into three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Let the hip roll open. Take one big breath. And then we're going to step that right foot up to the top right corner of our mat. So nice wide lunge here. Bring the back knee down, release the back toes. And now we're going to half split. So we're going to pull the hips back, but keep your toes on the ground. So rather than peeling the toes up, keep them reaching towards the top edge of your mat. So hopefully you'll feel a little stretch through the top of the foot and the top of the ankle. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Rock yourself forward. Curl the back toes under, pick that back knee up. Turn your right toes out, create a little space, and we're going to hop the left foot up to the top left corner of our mat. So a nice wide position at the top of the mat. Take a couple little rocks side to side, just to find some room in the hips and some movement in the knees. And then come back to center. Toe heel your feet in so that they're about hip width distance apart. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, stepping the left leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, arms up. Can you interlace the fingers, pointers up, sink a little deeper into that front thigh, lift your heart. Releasing that interlace, left hand's going to touch the back of the thigh. So your heart rotates slightly and then look up to that hand, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then spin your hands down to the ground as you pivot on that back heel, find your runner's lunge. Lovely. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Upward facing dog variation. So we're going to shift forward slightly, let the hips lower, but the thighs and knees stay off the ground. Arch the back, lift your heart, lift your gaze, one good breath. Lift back up into your downward facing dog. Left leg up into three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Nice, and then step that left foot up to the top left corner of your mat, or to the outside of that left pinky finger. Bring your back knee down, release your back toes, and then like you're going for your half splits, pull your hips back, but reach through the left toes. So left toes are gonna stay on the ground, so we find a little length and reach through the top of the foot. Awesome, when you're ready, bend that front knee, bring it forward, turn the left toes out, pick that back knee up. We're stepping that back foot up to a nice wide position. So step it up to the top right corner of your mat. And then we're going to start to find our way down to the ground. So you're going to rock your bum a little side to side, find some movement in your knees, find some movement in your feet. Awesome. One more little rock of your bum side to side, and then set your butt down onto the ground. Bring the soles of the feet together, right into your cobbler's pose or Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. We're just going to fold forward for one breath. So lift through the heart, create some length through the spine, lean your heart forward. Inhale and lift up through the crown of your head, let your heart follow. Nice. And then keeping your left leg in that bent position, right leg is going to extend out. So our hips are going to stay facing forward, but the left leg is like it's in a tree pose. Take a nice big breath, reach up and over. As you exhale, you're going to reach toward your right foot. So head to knee pose. If you need to bend that knee, bend it so you're not yanking too much against the hamstring. But if it feels comfortable, if you've got a handhold of your foot, you might make an interlace of your fingers, create a little basket weave, and then push your foot into your hands just to create a little bit more space. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. When you're ready, if your hands are interlaced, go ahead and release them. Reach through the fingertips energetically all the way up to the sky. Float your hands down nice. And now we're going to take that left foot, pick it up and step it over and across. So we're stepping it across the thigh, and then we're going to rotate to the left. So your right hand's just going to wrap around that left knee. Left hand is going to come behind you and maybe bring it nice and close to the side of your body so you can press firm into your palm and find a little height here. You guys, it's snowing. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's snowing. Glad I went to the grocery store yesterday. Take one more breath. When you're ready, nice and easy release. Step that foot nice and long. We're going to take it to the other side. So bend that right knee, bring it in like you're finding that tree pose, but the hips stay facing forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, reach toward your foot. If you can catch hold of the foot, make your little basket weave to hold on to the foot. But if you need to bend the leg so you're not yanking against the hamstring. Whatever hand hold is going to work good for you. And then if you've got that basket weave on the foot, just think about pushing your foot into your hands to make a little space. Take one more breath. When you're ready, reach through the fingertips, lifting up nice and high. Picking that right knee up, we're going to step that right knee over and across, and then take your left hand, wrap around that knee, rotating to the right. Hand is going to come nice and close along the side body or along the hip so that you can push into that palm and find all the height in your spine. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Awesome. When you're ready, nice and easy, rotate. But now we're going to pick that leg up right where it is, externally rotate, and then see, can you take that right foot, hold onto it with your left elbow pit or with your left hand. So it's a single hand hold. And then if you can keep that leg nice and lifted up towards the chest, right hand is going to touch down onto the ground, and we're going to lean over to the right, and we're going to just start to roll around. So we're just kind of massaging out the piriformis and the glutes. And then as you massage around here, just take a moment to think about that idea again of creating space and channels for the blood to flow and nourish the body. So you might feel some tender points around here. Roll around one or two more times. And then as you come back to center, just let that leg go nice and long. Pause for a moment and just notice. Take a breath. Notice your right glute compared to your left. Allow that blood flow to come back in, creating those spaces, and now allowing that nourishment to come back into the body. And then once you've noticed, take it to the other side. Pick up your left knee and your heel. Can you take your right foot, hug it in, take your left foot, hug it into your right elbow pit, getting a single hand hold. Keeping the leg nice and lifted towards the chest, and then lean over to the left. Rock around on that glute. Roll around in any places that feels good. If you feel any really extreme zinging sensation, you'll want to stay off those points or maybe work adjacent to them, just kind of going alongside of those places. Beautiful. Take one or two more good rolls around. And then as you come back, release your leg nice and long. Pause for a moment just to notice. Notice that just maybe gummy sensation or just a nice bit of heat in your glutes. And then when you feel ready, step your feet in, bend your knees, curl your tailbone under with control, nice and slow as you can. Take your time with control, engaging your abdominal muscles, curl your way down to the ground. Wonderful. And then as you find your way down to the ground, just give yourself a second. Get yourself situated, fix your clothes, fix your hair, do all those little lovely little human things that we do for ourselves. And then once you found your way there, we're going to set up for a bridge pose. So walk your heels a little closer to your butt, feet about hip width distance apart, hands down alongside the hips. We're going to press into the backs of the arms, reaching energetically into the fingertips. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift your hips up nice and high. Inhale, hinge from your hips, lower your butt back down. Exhale to lift up. Inhale to release down. Exhale to lift up. Inhale to release down. And now we're going to add on from here. Exhale to lift up, stay at the top, take an inhale. Exhale, and at the end of the exhale, suck your abdominal muscles in, find that nice hollow belly. Hold that sucked in belly. Roll your spine down to the ground. Once your hips touch down, release your abdominal muscles. Inhale, take a breath. Exhale, lift up into your bridge. Inhale at the top. Exhale at the end of your exhale. Suck the abdominal muscles in, find that hollow belly. Hold and retain that hollow belly as you roll your spine down to the ground. So you might feel a little tugging on the pelvic floor as you get lower and lower. Once your hips touch down, inhale, inflate the belly. Exhale, lift back up into your bridge. Last one here. Inhale at the top. Exhale at the end of your exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in. Hold that sucked in abdomen. Roll your spine down to the ground. Once your hips touch down, inhale, inflate the belly. Beautiful. Move right into a pelvic tilt here. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale and press your low back down. Inhale to release. Take 3 more cycles of breath and just move with your breath's rhythm. Beautiful. When you're ready, pull your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg nice and long. Move right into supine twist. Take that right knee over and across the body. Right arm opens out nice and wide. And now with that right arm opened out nice and wide, can you bring a little reach, a little energy down through the fingertips? So you're reaching long through the arm, reaching through the palms, reaching through the fingers, all the way to the edges of your fingertips. Take one more breath. Soften your hand, pull the right knee back into your chest, give a light little squeeze, and then switch sides. Bring the left knee in, send your right leg nice and long. Supine twist to the other side. Take that left knee over to the right. Let your left arm open out nice and wide, and then find that energy and reach again. Reach through the left fingertips. Find that space. Create length through the arms. That nice open energy channel through the arm, down to the palm, down to the fingers, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Take a nice big breath there. Wonderful. When you're ready, bring that left knee back into your chest. Bring the right knee into meet. Give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze, and then bring your legs into that tabletop position. And then we're going to find our little push-pull to reset our SI. So left hand on top of the knee, right hand behind the right thigh. Push your thigh into your right hand, push your hand into your left knee. So we get that opposite push-pull situation going on. Nice and active. Take one good breath. And then soften, relax that position and switch. Right hand on top of the knee, left hand behind. We push the right knee into the hand, or right hand into the knee. Push your left thigh into your hand. So find that opposite push-pull again. Nice and active. Take a nice big breath. And then as you exhale, soften, release, let your hands come down at your sides, float your feet up towards the ceiling, move right into some points and flex the feet, reach your toes up towards the sky, and then flex, pull your toes in towards your chest. Take 1 or 2 more points and flex to the feet. And then we're going to keep our legs and legs up the wall for a moment, but keep a soft bend in the knees. Let your feet come to a little stillness. Let your tailbone get nice and heavy. And then think about inviting some softness into your belly and into your abdomen. And then if you can find that sense of softness, take a nice deep breath in with a nice soft belly. So let your belly inflate like a balloon. Exhale nice and slow. Just giving 2 more cycles of breath here just to allow gravity to do a little work for us. So we've played around with this idea of creating channels for blood to flow, and now we're letting gravity help out just a little bit more. So take 1 more cycle of breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully float your feet back down to the ground. We're going to toe heel them to the outer edges of the mat or just step them out wide, and then find some gentle windshield wipers here, just to create some soft and soothing movement, bringing some fluid back into the hips, inviting some softness into the low back. And then as you start to find this softer, gentle movement here, ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. If you're in a cold room, it might feel good to throw your socks on, put on your sweater, get your blanket, do all those little self-care things for you. And then once you feel like you know where you're going, start to get yourself set up. Would it feel good to come to constructive rest, nice and supportive to the low back? Do you want a little bit more action for the hips, maybe coming to recline cobbler's pose for that position, especially since we just reset the SI? I highly recommend tucking your yoga blocks or blanket or pillows underneath the outer edges of your thighs, just so it's a supported position and we're not yanking too much against that connective tissue. Maybe you take that more traditional shape and walk your feet nice and long. Whatever feels the most comfortable and allows you to find just a little bit of stillness here, or a stillness that makes sense to you. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wake up your fingers, gently wake up your toes. As you invite that gentle movement into your fingers and into your toes, maybe you notice if your hands feel cool or warm, dry or moist. Invite just a little bit more movement in, and then maybe increase that movement to other parts of your limbs. Maybe move your wrists and your ankles, maybe move your knees and your elbows, maybe turn your head a little side to side. Any little bit of movement here that starts to reawaken you and send blood to those outer edges. And then if it feels really good to do so, take a big good morning stretch like a yawn. Stretch your feet long, reach your arms up and overhead, and then find that energetic reach. Reach through your fingertips, reach through the tips of your toes. Take a nice big giant breath back into your body. Exhale and let everything soften. And then in your own way, at your own pace, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. You might choose to rock and roll up or roll to one side, but take your time as you come up. Awesome. And then as you come up into your comfortable seated position, we're going to stack our hands on our heart and we're going to put just a little bit of gentle pressure on. So you're going to feel the top hand is going to put a little pressure on the back of the hand, and then the other hand is putting that pressure on the heart, the skin, the connective tissue, and in my case, my fabric of my clothes as well. So we're pushing in gently, and then we're going to trap that skin, connective tissue, and everything that you got going on there and draw some circles. So you're going to feel the skin and the connective tissue move with your hand. Put that pressure on, draw a couple of circles, go in one direction if you like. Close your eyes down so you can just tune and pay attention. One more circle around. And then as you come to a stillness, switch. The other palm is going to come underneath, other palm on top. And now you're going to feel that maybe little subtle change. One space might be cold or warm, whatever the case may be. And then we're going to take those hands, put a little gentle pressure on, keeping the skin, the connective tissue, your fabric underneath you, all of that trapped. So it's moving everything in the same direction. Close your eyes down if that feels like a way to go. One more circle around. And then release your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer hands at heart center, thumbs to sternum, bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathing in a little extra love and gratitude for all the systems in our body that help us keep moving and doing all the things that we want to do with our day. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday or Thursday. I don't even know what day. Oh, it's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy snow day.